A long, long time ago, in a far, far away place called Blackistan, there were wars, and these conflicts were called the Blackistan Wars. And throughout these wars, there arose a man of royal lineage, and his name was BenjaminDeSouza. He brought forth a sword that will shine light in darkness, free the captive minds, and bring truth and justice. His eyes glimmered like ember. His skin was like fine burnished steel. And as he walked, behind him he left a glistening wake. This is the story of BenjaminDeSouza, the Prince and the Warlord. Yo, what's happening? It's BenjaminDeSouza here, the Prince, back with another classic. And I know. It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without some dope content to step to. I get it. But I've been busy out here, man, these past 10 weeks, about 10, 11, 12 weeks and whatnot. With a new transition, new chapter in my life, I joined the Army, the military, the service, government issued now. And been in basic training, just finished basic training on the 12th of November, just touched down in AIT this past Friday on the 13th, Friday the 13th and whatnot. And getting settled into my AIT and whatnot. And, for the prior military listeners of mine, y'all know how it is, man. You get the AIT, you got to hit formations and you got to get this, you got to sign that, you got to look over this, you got to go here, you got to go there, all that kind of shit. But lately, since I've been back and got my phone and whatnot, I've been peeking into some of the chat rooms here and there, what I can. I haven't been able to just sit down and chill through a whole program live and whatnot because, I got to hit formation, go to chow, go here, go there. I got time now before my next formation, so I'm going to drop this video for you, man. And, going through basic training, I've underwent some changes. You know what I mean? Most notably, it has brought me closer to the Most High, For obvious reasons, I was just in there. The only books I could read were the field manuals and whatnot and, the Army stuff Army material that they give us to read, but also the Bible and whatnot. And I always had the little pocket Bible, this camouflage, I always had it on my person in my sleeve pocket and whatnot. And, spent a lot of time during the free time that I had during basic training reading that, getting back into the scripts and whatnot, It's always important for you brothers to have a spiritual foundation, man. I myself, my God is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But, if you brothers want to go off and, to each his own, basically. But what I wanted to get to today coincides with, the spiritual growth that I underwent while going through basic training. And this is one scripture in particular. Proverbs 14, verse 4. And it goes, where there are no oxen, the manger is clean, but abundant crops come by the strength of the ox. Which essentially boils down to, hey, look, if you want a lot of crops, ergo, money, success, prestige, and whatnot, you're going to have to shovel a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? And that scripture helped get me through basic training. Because, being in basic training, I wouldn't say at advanced age, but compared to my contemporaries in basic training, on average, I was twice their age. You know what I'm saying? I just turned 36 in August. Matter of fact, I turned 36 while I was in basic training. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in there with 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, a few 17-year-olds and shit. So I'm literally old enough to be these motherfuckers' daddies and shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're straight out of high school, still with the high school fucking, you know, mentality, you know. So, needless to say, confrontations and situations arise, but, you know, it all comes apart. That's part for the course when you gotta shovel shit, you know, to keep your mangers clean. You know what I mean? But yeah, I want you brothers and sisters to keep that in mind. You know, whenever you want something out of life, you got to put in the work, man. You got to do some dirty work. You know, you got to not dirty work in the sense of anything negative. I don't want that to come across as having a negative connotation. But you know, you're gonna have to roll your sleeves up and put in the work. You know, because these past, I want to say 5 years really, and you know, going through basic and just becoming a soldier and having a soldier's mindset, and you know, also my spiritual growth and learning new positive habits and whatnot. It's changed me as a person. It's changed me as a man, and it's also given me a new, how you say, red pill perspective, if you will. So you know, I don't know. We'll see how my content goes from here, but I'm still the same motherfucker. You know, as far as my content is concerned, everything in my catalog, I stand on that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was standing on that shit until further notice. You feel me? But you know, these past 5 years, like I said, I had to shovel a lot of shit just to get to the point to where I'm at now. Just not basic training alone. You know, basic training is where I revisited that particular scripture, which helped put me in this mind frame right now. But these past 5 years, as y'all know, I chronicled it through my catalog here on YouTube. You know, I had early 2015, close childhood friend of mine passed away. That same year, I get this. Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna call her what I was gonna call her. I get my baby mama pregnant. You know, and she rang me. You know, she put me through the meat grinder. 2000 in 2016, yeah, she put me through the meat grinder. 2017, my cousin passes. I was it 2000? No, 2016, my cousin passed. 2017, my father passed. You know, he passed, matter of fact, I want to say 3 weeks before I fucking got my 2-year degree and shit. Like, he was going through liver cancer treatment while I was doing finals and shit. You know what I'm saying? During finals and shit. Crazy, bro. Fucking crazy. Rest in peace to my pops, man. Rest in peace to the homie, man. Rest in peace to my cousin. And then, you know, fucking had to drop out. You know, got into university for computer science my junior year. Got into the university I wanted to. Fucking University of Missouri, Kansas City. Go Kangaroos. Grew up. Had to drop out to become a truck driver. But that child support was fucking smacking my ass, man. Then, you know, got my red pill rage on a lot. You know, that was a lot of my earlier content was when I first started. No, I'm not gonna say a lot, but you know, some of my red pill rage content was made during my truck driving years. You know, and I was driving trucks for 2 years, and then I want to say within the first year came down with a severe illness. Almost took my life. That was what, 2019? 2019, yeah. And that same year, not only that, but the same year, a close childhood friend of mine got murdered in broad day, man, down north in Kansas City. But, you know, he was on bullshit. He was a knucklehead. Rest in peace to him. But, you know, he was on some, he was about that life. But, you know, rest in peace to him. But anyway, you know, came down with a severe illness, almost died, was in ICU for 30 days. They had to be home written for another 30 days. I got up out that motherfucker. I couldn't even do one push up, man. For real. Like I had to get on my knees and do push-ups from my knees, and I could only muster 2 of them. Had to rebuild myself back up. You know what I mean? Before I had that illness and shit, man, I was what, 212, 215 pounds. I got out of that shit, man. I was 180. Couldn't do a push-up. You know, had to build myself back up and get back on the road. You know what I'm saying? Got back on the road, busting up the ship row. You feel me? And shit, earlier this year, I want to say February, January, late January, February, got fired from my truck driving job and was home watching the Super Bowl. Go Chiefs. We won. We did that. You feel me? And was on my way to the mall to pick up a fucking Chiefs Super Bowl hat. Saw the Army recruiting office and was like, you know what, let me slide in there on my way back. So after I picked up, you know, my gear, slid back in there, it was like, yeah, come back tomorrow and take the test. Came back the next day. Well, went home that night, drunk a bunch of beer and fucking played Call of Duty. I didn't even study or nothing like that. Came back the next day, got a decent score. They was like, shit, you scored in the alpha percentile. You can basically get any job you want. So I said, shit, y'all got computer science jobs? They was like, yeah. Bet, sign me up. Let's go. Let's scatter. So shit. But unfortunately, I was just past the age requirement, 35. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get an age waiver, had to get a whole bunch of shit. Then I had to get paperwork signed off by my baby mama pertaining to my daughter and shit. And she gave me hell about that shit. You know what I'm saying? She gave me the blues on that. So I had to serenade her and whatnot. Got all that shit. And the process for me initially talking to the recruiters to get in from early March to fucking August. That's how long it took me to actually officially get in. You know what I'm saying? Well, not get in because I swore in back in June. I want to say July. I swore in, but to actually get the basic and fucking start doing push-ups and PTing and doing all that good soldier shit, you know. And shit, this whole summer it's been a rough one. It's been a rough one because, you know, I kind of phased out of hopping on panels a lot. I still hopped on a few panels and shit this past summer, but shit, that shit was rough, man. My fucking lease was up in April, so then I had to move in with my auntie and shit. Then some problems with her significant other popped up, and her significant other wanted me out, so I had to move out of there. You know, I couldn't move in with my pops or nothing like that because he passed. My mom, she retired, couldn't go back home to mom's and shit because she retired and moved back down to Arkansas and shit. You know, none of the family members gonna take my grown rusty ass in for a few weeks until I shipped off to the army and shit. Then my brother and shit, you know, that's my bro. Much love to him, but he couldn't do it because he married with 3 kids and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, shit, I had to fucking, when I left my auntie's house, I had to get a cheap ass flop house hotel room. I'm talking about ghetto, bruh. I'm talking about one of them fucking $200 a goddamn week type of hotel deals and shit. You know what I'm saying? For real, flop house. You feel me? Then from there, fucking got a little Airbnb. You know, until I shipped out, then shipped out the basic and got it in. But you know, that whole process right there, I had to clean a lot of mangers. You feel me? To tend to my oxen so that I can accumulate the crops that I want to accumulate, you know? And, you know, it all came full circle. And also, there was a time during the recruiting process where the particular job that I wanted wasn't available. So, just a quick aside, when I finally got a chance to look at the jobs that they offered me, it was all bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck, I gotta go back to driving trucks. I had put my heart and soul, put all my chips into going into the Army, and now they trying to give me bullshit jobs that I didn't want. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, fuck it. I walked away from the table, about to go back into truck driving. Had actually took the drug test and was about to hitch a ride with one of the drivers to East St. Louis to take the driving test to get hired. And I'm waiting on to get picked up at a truck stop, and my recruiter called me like, yo, job just popped open for you. I was like, shit, nigga, come pick me up right now. You feel me? So it's been ups and downs. You feel me? So I had to tend to my mangers. You feel me? But like I was saying, this whole process came full circle. You know, I went into college wanting to go into the STEM field. You know, then like, you know, plans are subject to change. My baby mama was a huge fucking monkey wrench in my plans. I mean, a huge monkey wrench, you know? So I had to detour from fucking computer science, go into truck driving, and then get back on the path. You know, all praises to the Most High for getting me back on the path to STEM, in a STEM field. You know what I'm saying? So it all came full circle, you know? But yeah, man, I just want to come in, man, and drop something, man. I see I lost about 30, 40 subs and shit. I was like, man, this nigga ain't putting out no content, man. Let me unsub from this motherfucker, man. I ain't mad at you. But yeah, man, y'all stay encouraged, man. And just know, man. But all right, I'm holler.